The alley reeked of burnt ozone and something sweetly metallic that Nick couldn't identify. He'd taken a wrong turn leaving the spaceport bazaar on Theta 7, and now he was paying for it. The child, no more than waist-high with iridescent blue skin and 4 trembling arms, cowered behind a disposal unit, while 3 Krevesh thugs advanced with plasma-heated blades. Nick didn't think. Thinking was for people who wanted to live long, boring lives. "Hey," he shouted, stepping between the predators and their prey. "Pick on someone your own size." The largest Krevesh, his chitinous face split into what might have been a grin, hissed something in a language Nick didn't understand. The translation implant in his ear buzzed, then died, probably fried by the electromagnetic pulse from the nearby fighting pits. The blade came fast. Nick felt the first stab pierce his shoulder, white-hot agony exploding through nerve endings. He grabbed the Krevesh's wrist, twisted, and took the second blade in his ribs. The child screamed behind him, a sound like wind chimes in a hurricane. "Run," Nick gasped, tasting copper. The third stab. The fourth. His legs buckled, but he stayed upright, his body a shield. The child's footsteps pattered away into the darkness. Good. That was good. 5, 6, 7. Nick's vision tunneled. The Krevesh were laughing now, a chittering sound like insects. He thought of his sister back on Earth, of the last sunset he'd seen over the Pacific, of all the stupid decisions that had led him to die in an alien alley, 1,000 light years from home. The 8th blade found his chest. Nick fell. Consciousness returned like a wave, slow and inevitable. Nick's eyelids felt weighted with lead, but eventually he forced them open. White ceiling. Soft light. The gentle hum of advanced medical equipment. He tried to move and immediately regretted it. "Don't," a voice said, female, melodic. "Your wounds are healing, but you must remain still." Nick turned his head, slowly, carefully, and froze. 6 figures stood around his bed. They were humanoid but unmistakably alien, their skin ranging from deep violet to pale lavender. Each wore armor that seemed to shift and flow like liquid mercury, and their eyes, all 4 of them, glowed with an inner light. Weapons were holstered at their sides, curved blades that hummed with barely contained energy. The speaker stepped forward. She was tall, nearly 7 feet, with elaborate markings that spiraled across her face and down her neck. Her bearing radiated authority. "I am Commander Kiza of the Velathian Royal Guard," she said, her Earth Standard English perfect. "You saved the life of Prince Velnash, 14th in line to the Eternal Throne." Nick blinked. The kid in the alley was a prince? His protective detail was ambushed. "We were searching when we found you." Kiza's 4 eyes studied him with an intensity that made Nick feel like a specimen under a microscope. "You took 8 lethal wounds defending a child you did not know. A child of a species you had never encountered." "Yeah, well." Nick tried to shrug, winced. Seemed like the right thing to do. The other guards exchanged glances. One of them, shorter and stockier with scars across his arms, spoke in their own language. Kiza responded sharply, then returned her attention to Nick. "My second question's why you would sacrifice yourself for one who is not your own kind. This is not typical behavior among the species we have encountered. Humans don't leave kids to die," Nick said. "Any kids? Doesn't matter what they look like." Kiza tilted her head. "You nearly died. By our physicians' accounts, you should have died. Your species is remarkably fragile. Your internal organs can be punctured, your blood supply depleted, your neural functions interrupted. Yet you placed yourself in harm's way. You make it sound weird. It is unprecedented." Kiza gestured to the guards. They knelt as one, their armor chiming softly. By the ancient codes of Velothia, when one saves the life of royal blood, they are owed a debt that cannot be repaid with wealth or words. Only with service. Only with honor. Nick's mind, still foggy with pain medication, struggled to process this. "I don't understand." "You will." Kiza placed a hand over her chest in what was clearly a salute. "From this moment, Nicholas Reeves of Earth, you are under the protection of the Velathian Royal Guard. Any who threaten you threaten the crown itself. Any who harm you will answer to the Empress's justice. Wait. Furthermore," Kiza continued, a smile playing at her lips, "the prince has requested you as his personal guardian when he comes of age. It is an honor extended to only the worthiest warriors in the galaxy." Nick stared at the 6 elite soldiers kneeling around his hospital bed. This was insane. He was a cargo hauler who'd gotten drunk and lost at cards too many times. He wasn't a warrior. He wasn't special. "I'm nobody," he whispered. Kiza's smile widened. "You are human. And we are learning that means something very different than we thought." She straightened. "Rest now, Nick Reeves. When you are healed, we will teach you our ways. You saved a prince with nothing but your fragile body and your fierce heart. Imagine what you could do with proper training." As consciousness faded again, Nick thought about the child running to safety, about the way the guards looked at him with something like wonder, about what it meant that a simple human impulse, protect the innocent, had resonated across the stars. When he woke again, Kiza was still there standing guard. "Why are you still here?" Nick asked. "Because you would do the same," she replied simply. "And we have much to learn from creatures who would throw themselves into certain death for strangers. Your species is weak in body, perhaps, but in spirit?" Her 4 eyes glowed brighter. "In spirit, you are terrifying." Nick closed his eyes and smiled. Maybe dying in that alley would have been easier than whatever came next. But then again, he'd never been one for easy. He was human, and apparently that meant something after all. The end.